Hey guys, hey, welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm that mom. Today I'm going to be going over a step-by-step guide on the tasty.com creamy one pot spinach shrimp pasta recipe. This is my first time making it, so I follow the ingredients ingredients and directions to a T from what is needed and what I needed to do. So I'll be posting or copying and pasting all of that information from tasty.com to my description. Now, here you'll see pictures of the dishes that I needed to use to help make this recipe go smoothly. Because when you try a recipe for the first time, it's like you don't have everything organized. You start to lose your mind and you're like, no, never doing this again. It's too hard. But when you get organized and you start taking all your dishes out, it makes it more easier and much more fun, shall I say. Here I am filling up the pot of water. And I do my dance. What? Who doesn't love dancing in the kitchen? I do. And there's my husband giving me a kiss. He's such a sweetheart. I love him. All right, so cooking tip number 1. When it comes to boiling noodles, salt or olive oil in the pot of water helps to keep the noodles from sticking when it's cooking, just in case you didn't know. Now, if you're anything like me and you forgot to take the shrimp out to thaw, oh my god, I was like, I can't believe I did that, like total foul. I know, right? No, not a fail. Actually, the safest way to thaw out shrimp anyways is to put it in the colander in a bowl, fill it up with cold water, and let it sit for about 10 minutes. That again is the safest way to thaw out your shrimp. So, colander with cold water to the rescue. And then another good thing is while this is thawing out, you can get your seasoning and spices together, so it's not like you're waiting for the shrimp to thaw anyways. You're doing other stuff while it's thawing. Now for the garlic, I used 6 because the garlic cloves that I had was on a smaller size. So smaller the garlic cloves, more you use. Bigger the garlic cloves, less you use. Recipe calls for 8 tablespoons of butter. You're going to use 2 tablespoons out of the 8 to saute the garlic. Now, here I am breaking the noodles in half, and just in case you know, the reason why I do that is so that the noodles cook evenly. If you were to just put the noodles in the pot and it doesn't all fit in the pot, partial of the noodles will still be on the harder side. So you want to break it in half so it all cooks evenly. So with my vegetables, even though the packaging says pre-washed, I still wash my vegetables. So I'm taking out 4 cups of the spinach so I can wash it. Recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Obviously, you can see the noodles are done. I've already put it into a colander, so I'm using the same pot, hence 1 pot recipe. Now I'm putting the 2 tablespoons of butter. You don't want to let the butter you don't want to leave it and let it melt on its own. You want to keep stirring it because you don't want the butter to turn brown. That's overcooking it. You want to keep stirring it to keep it a nice creamy color. I'm going to add the garlic in there and the crushed red peppers. Now with the crushed red peppers, the recipe calls for 2 teaspoons, which is what I used. But I should have used 1 teaspoon because it ended up making the pasta too spicy. My husband liked it, but my children and I are not big fans of spicy food. So if I used 1 teaspoon, that would have been perfect. Another thing is after putting in the shrimp, it also calls for pepper. Maybe since using 2 teaspoons, I didn't have to use the pepper because it made it even more spicier for us. There's the pepper, and I use seasoned salt. I don't use regular salt. I use seasoned salt for everything except for my noodles. You're going to stir it in. Now, yes, I did simmer it. If you're going to simmer something, always make sure you turn down the heat. So in this case, I turned on the heat to medium-low and let it simmer for about 8-10 minutes. You don't want to cook it too long because you don't want to overcook the shrimp. You don't want it crispy. You want a nice colored shrimp, nice pink colored shrimp like that. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of oregano. I'm going to mix it and then add in the nicely washed baby shrimp or baby spinach. Now with the spinach, you want to keep stirring it. You don't want to overcook it. Now you see how nice and light green the spinach is? That's fresh spinach. Once it starts to wilt, it starts to turn a little darker green. Now, if it's too dark of green, you overcooked it. You don't want to overcook it. When you eat your pasta, you kind of want a nice, light crunchy taste to it. You don't want it too crunchy. You don't want it too fresh. You want it cooked, but you don't want it too soft either. So keep stirring it. Now, with the pasta, what I should have done is I should have wet it to kind of make it less sticky. You can see I'm having a difficult time getting it out of the colander. So if you do make the pasta before you put it in a pot, just kind of spray it down with water so it's easy to take out of the colander. So I put the rest, the 6 tablespoons of butter on top of the noodles. Yes, the recipe calls for 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, but our family loves cheese. So we used more cheese, which you can use more or less of it, totally up to you. But our family is a cheesy family. We love our cheese. You're going to keep stirring the noodles until the butter has completely melted. As you can see, there's still a block of butter there. You're going to keep stirring it until it's all melted into the pasta. And then after this, you're going to add 2 teaspoons of parsley flakes to kind of give it that Italian pasta taste alongside the oregano that's already in there. Now, it's done. I'm turning off the heat. Pasta's done. Personally, what I do is I don't leave the pasta in the pot. I don't like to do that. Some people do like to leave it in the pot, and that is totally fine. Personally, I prefer to put it in a separate bowl because the juice underneath, the noodles ends up soaking it up and it makes the noodles a little bit soft. And especially since there's spinach in it, you don't want the spinach soft as well. You don't want to overcook it, if that makes any sense. But it's all done. It looks so delicious. Before you see it, I'm just giving you a heads up. I did cheat. I wasn't able to take a picture of this recipe because we were so hungry. We could smell it. We wanted to eat. So I was like, let's eat. But the picture you're about to see is from tasty.com. It looks exactly like that. Now, on my review, would I make this again? Yes, definitely. I give this recipe a big thumbs up. It was really good. Like I said, next time I make this, I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of red crushed peppers instead of the 2. Now, it also calls for lemon juice as a garnish. I didn't add lemon juice, but it's okay. You can add it to give it a kind of zest to it, a lemony zest to it. We didn't. I had lemon, but I just didn't want to use it. But other than that, yep, I really enjoyed this recipe. I will definitely make it again. Don't forget to leave a comment. Let us know what you think of this video. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you guys later.